Hello everyone, welcome to the LeverX webinar series, a free educational service offered to SAP customers to inform and demonstrate SAP functionality and industry best practices to improve your business performance. Our webinar today is entitled Design to Cost and Profitability, SAP Product Lifecycle Costing. With the SAP Product Lifecycle Costing solution, which is powered by the SAP HANA platform, you can calculate costs quickly and precisely and simulate and compare alternatives to gain better visibility and control throughout the product lifecycle. My name is Ralph Davis, Marketing Manager at LeverX, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar. Before we begin our topic, let me briefly introduce you to LeverX. LeverX helps companies increase business value by leveraging existing investments in SAP solutions.
All right, thank you. So thanks for the introductions, Ralph, and thanks for everyone to everyone for joining this webinar today. So I'm really pleased to give you an update on this new kid on the block on SAP Product Lifecycle Costing. I'm not sure if any one of you has been part of the first presentation that I have been doing in September of last year, just prior to launch of the solution. Today we'll really focus on recapping some of the key capabilities of the solution again, because probably not everyone was part of that session at the time. And then I will give you a heads up on the key capabilities of the new feature pack that's coming out very soon. Actually, it's going to come out in April, so it's I will show you some of the capabilities that are not yet even in the market. That's why I also wanted to bring up this legal disclaimer. So first of all, let me quickly recap on where we come from with the solution. Why did we introduce it? What's the real value add here to our clients? Really what we see today in our client base when it comes to cost evaluations in the early phase of engineering. So being it in the very early phases where you come up with a business case, or during the iterations that you go through in a new product introduction scenario, or being it in iterations that you go through in a quotation process with your client, we have quite a few stakeholders involved in this process. And these stakeholders contribute with different data elements and different pieces of information to this process to get up to a proper cost estimate for the product, which is depicted here. So obviously engineering is heavily involved, right? Because the engineers own the BOM, the design structure, the specifications on what the product should be about. You have the manufacturing engineers involved because they are really very much care about the manufacturing processes that should be introduced in order to manufacture the product, and they work together with controlling on making sure that they can also provide a right cost estimate for the manufacturing steps that need to be taken for the product, taking the right equipments into account. So what are the equipments that are going to be used? What are the related activity rates for these equipments? What are certain setup times? All this kind of information potentially will be provided as you go and refine cost estimates along the engineering cycles. Obviously, for all the components that go into the product, we have procurement involved, right? So everything that goes into the product that is sourced from the supplier, or that needs to actually first of all quote it from the supplier, because you might not even source it yet, right? So you will need to have different commodity managers or other roles in procurement involved to make sure that you get the cost of the components that are going into the product, or that you maybe get the cost of the sub-assemblies that you might subcontract to your suppliers. So they need to work with the information given from engineering and work with that, structural information, extract what are the components that they would need to put into the equation from a direct materials sourcing perspective, and need to make sure that they provide the cost estimates or the quotes or any level of information that they can get from the suppliers as they do the negotiations with new suppliers, or as they renegotiate with existing suppliers on the prices to be cut. And obviously, then for different scenarios, you have other roles involved. Obviously, the product manager very much cares about the product cost and wants to make sure it's as good as possible, as low as possible, to make also his margins at the end. The same holds true for the sales colleagues. If you especially care about quotation-related cost estimates, then sales is very much involved to make sure on top of the cost that they get some margin with the client, and they also get the deal, by the way, right? In order to actually get the product sold at the end. So really, all of these, they are involved, and they use different tools in order to get data into the equation. They might use Excel, which is prominent, very prominent actually, in our install base here, and what we have seen so far in all the discussions with clients. And they use obviously best-of-breed tools like an best-of-breed PLM tool for holding some of the engineering structures, or best-of-breed procurement solutions, and so on. So it's really a spaghetti of different tools and data flows that need to be taken care of, and with a tool that helps you more easily do these cost estimates, more accurately do these cost estimates, and speed up those cost estimates. That is really very, very helpful for our clients.